Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just going to jump into this video because I'm going to be sharing some journals that I created for my Etsy store, and I have quite a few of them, and while they're similar, they are a little bit different. So I know this is going to be a long video, so I'm just going to jump into it. I also want to say that I know my videos have been kind of non-existent lately. I recently lost my grandma, and it kind of put a halt on everything except spending time being creative, because that just seems to, it helps when you have something to dive into. So that's really what these journals became for me, and I have other videos coming. I have some older Plan With Me videos, but I still plan on sharing them, even though how important is the date? I don't think it matters. So anyway, I just have to edit that and get that up. But today I want to share these because I'm very excited. I love them. I think they are my favorite that I've created so far. This journal is super chunky, but it also has a lot of things inside. So if you take that out, it won't be as chunky. And to be honest, it can close a lot tighter. You just have to re-knot this string, so it will sit kind of poofy, but I wanted to make it a little bit different than I had before. I wanted it to be more of an experience, like a touch and feel kind of a thing. There's still a lot of journaling space in here, but I kind of feel like every page is an experience, which is what I was going for. So the book measures 4.5 by 6.5, I think. Of course, I got the biggest ruler ever. Yeah. 4.5 by about 6.5, and then the binding is about 1 3/4 of an inch. So there are 3 signatures in here and a ton of pages, which was also kind of my goal, and I didn't count them, but I will definitely put it down in the description box below so that we can have a page count. I don't want to take 10 minutes to do that right now. So anyway, it'll be down below. Okay, so I was so excited to try this out. I have these vintage file folders here, and this was one of the metal plates for the letters, obviously. So I used that as my closure in the back and some seam binding with a post here in the front. My thought is I am almost positive that I have every letter in the alphabet. So if you buy this journal, you can tell me what letter you want me to put in here, and hopefully I have it. If I don't, hopefully I have the other letter, but I'm fairly certain I have a couple sets, I think. So yeah. In the end, you will pick the letter for this, but just know that it is quite possible that I don't have it. I'm like 90% certain that I do. So anyway, that's my thoughts, and I love this. I thought it was so cool when it's sitting up. It's like that letter pokes out, and I just love it. Okay, so here on the cover, I have a lot of different layers here. Scrapbook paper, there's some green fabric, some book paper back here, some burlap. I stamped this image of the plants here on this cotton fabric, stamped the word blessed. There's some music paper down here. This is some vintage lace from the 70s, I think. Wooden bird, a little bit of lace here, a piece of a pineapple. It's a pineapple stitch or whatever from a doily, and I just wove some twine through there. This is a little locket with some dried flower pieces in there that match the colors of the book. A little bit of beading here on the front, and then a garment pin with some dragonfly wings, a few little wooden beads, and then just a piece of that burlap scrap. My intention was to go kind of nature themed with this one, so that's why, you know, there'll be a lot of that throughout the book. So in the back here, I just made a fabric pocket and stitched on a piece of vintage curtain, and then I have slipped in the back here just a little extra scrap notebook with some extra tea-dyed paper. Okay, so this book got very chunky. I will say that there is a lot I have added into it as I've made it. You can take all of the papers out, you know, and add them back as you go. Okay, so all the paper has been tea-dyed. All of the pages have been inked to give them more of an aged look. It is full of stitching, and stamping, fabrics. It's a very grungy style, which I've been enjoying making lately. I wanted to do that again. So it's kind of grungy, kind of primitive, I guess. So I have some scrapbook paper. The binding is this linen, tea-dyed linen fabric. There's some cheesecloth poking out of there. Here I have a piece of lace stitched onto some tea-dyed paper for a pocket. It was just a little easier to attach the pocket that way to the cover. So throughout the book, I have used the paper pad Wallflower from Tim Holtz. So that is this opening cover here. So then here on this front page, I just have a piece of that lace, some cotton fabric, a little cutout of a doily, and a piece of lace. And then there's some stamping. And I'll just try to flip through this pretty quickly because there's a lot. So here I have this music paper pocket with a little playing card I added some paper to, and I loved this piece of music. So there's also a tuck spot there. I just had to zoom in a little bit so you can get a better view. Stitching on some of the pages. Stamping. This is a page out of a book about trees. Some scrapbook paper. A little fabric pocket. And throughout the book, I added some images out of this book about a flower guide. I thought that was fun, and I just stitched it on there kind of crazy, and then I made a little tag for extra journaling. This is a die cut. Here's a pocket that I made out of an old embroidered table linen. I just kind of cut this piece off, flipped it around, and stitched some lace in there, so it's kind of a book page. There's some ripped up linen here, some fabric, and then another one of those book images. I just really like that. So I have a little file folder with some scrap paper tucked in here, and another playing card. This is some vintage wrapping paper that I have had since I bought this house. Somebody left a whole collection of vintage wrapping paper, and I've lived here 14 years, so I was so excited to finally have something to do with that. I've been hoarding that quite some time. This is a page out of that flower book in a little pocket, and I just have a vintage mending wool card in here with the wool. Little lace belly band. And then here, just a tuck spot, and I made this journaling card with my silhouette. Piece of curtain and some lace. So here's the other page of that linen, and I've just stitched some fabrics and some lace on there with that lemon lily image. And on the other side, it's just the linen. This is just some scrap paper that I stamped on. I have these really fun stamps that I picked up at a yard sale like over 10 years ago, and they're from an old printing press. So I was like, oh my goodness, that would be so much fun to use in this journal. They have a vintage feel to them, and I just love that. So I used those on some scraps throughout all of these journals. The other side of that tree book. And then here is a music pocket with a little vellum pocket. I've been watching a few new ladies to me with journals who have inspired me with some of these things, especially like this vellum pocket. I've linked a bunch of junk journal people in a previous video on who has inspired me. I'm going to link some new ones that I found more recently than that I've been watching with great pleasure as well. So check those ladies out if you guys are enjoying these journals. So this is a double music pocket again, and here's a journaling card that I made here. This has 3 pockets, so here's a playing card with some music on the back, and then just another little card that I made with my silhouette. You can tell this book's chunky. You have to like a lot You have to like the whole experience of it here. So here with this cover, I just kind of experimented, and the music here is poking out of the top. Beautiful transfer. I love it. This one just has a lace page in it. Another music pocket. It's a double pocket as well with a card. The little tuck spot. And this is just some scraps that I made on a journaling card. Some laces here. This book page, I shared. This one was almost hard for me because I love owls, but this, I love that image. So I put that one in this journal. I figure I can find a different picture for myself. And this is just another page out of that tree book. And here's another tuck spot, and I've made a few file folders and added some scrap paper. Another tuck spot and just a journaling card off of the internet. Some laces. Lots of pages in this book. Another little fabric pocket. Another handmade journaling card. Some scrapbook paper. Another double music tuck pocket and just a piece of ephemera. I added some tea-dyed paper to the back. Stamping. Another pocket with just a scrap. Extra scrap paper. Double music note. Scrap paper. Other side of that lace. And one more signature, the third signature. Love that trim. Some more of that vintage wrapping paper. I always get asked how I did this staining. This is a heart-shaped muffin pan that I have, and I absolutely love that. I love how that transfers. Another double tuck music pocket, book paper. Another die cut here. And then this linen is actually stitched onto this page because this is the piece that I had left, so I made a pocket out of it. Put one of those file folders in there. And then on the back is another page here with this carnation image. Book page. This is a tea-stained glassine bag with another one of these tags. Another pocket. The other side of that glassine bag, and that's just some scraps that I stapled together and stamped the name of the book onto it. That was cute. And again, if you want this book to lay a little bit flatter, you can take everything out of it. There's a tuck spot. I made this journaling card with some stamping on there. Another belly band with some vintage ledger paper here. Another double music note pocket with a file folder. Another pocket with another scrap paper. Another one of those fabric pockets with that image there. Some scraps. And that is it. And back here there's another pocket stitched onto some coffee dyed paper. So yes, that was so much fun and I love it, and this one's actually a little hard for me to get rid of, but yes, it is definitely fun. Okay, so next I have 4 of these Traveler's Notebook size journals again. I really enjoy making these. This is about 8 1/4 tall by 4.5. And again, these are super chunky too. I added a lot of pages to these. It's a very similar cover. This one has a matted scrapbook paper here in the back. There's some linen tea-stained fabrics, some green fabric, a piece of lace here, lots of layers. I stamped the image of this leaf, some book paper, some of that 70s lace, and then I stamped the word inspire here. There's some book paper, and it's just full of laces and trims. Here in the back, this time I added like a little tuck spot that you can slip some things into. Like, what happens to me is I have a lot of things I want to add to my journal, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So I added this for like those kind of things. Like, I haven't had time to add it to my book, so I can just hang on to them in the back of the book. So there is a tuck spot on the back of every book. There's also a little garment pin here with more of those dragon wings, little piece of twine. So then here in the front is a pocket, and I just added some scrap paper to these as well. It's just stapled together. Little piece of lace, and again, this is very similar to my journal. So little tuck spot here, some lace. These I did add some buttons to, some vintage buttons. I love those, and I stitched some twine in there. Piece of doily. More of that book, flower book paper. Little tuck spot here with some fabric. This one has a doily in it. Little pocket. I've added a lot of ephemera that I added tea-stained paper to the back of in this journal. Tracing paper here. A little tuck spot with some of that curtain and lace. Just a tea-stained index card. So this paper here is one of a few book pages that I have copied out of a book because I love them. This book cracks me up. Okay, so this is The Hills Manual of Social Business Forms. My mom gave me this book, and I wanted to use the real pages, but it's too awesome. I'm gonna have to make copies. So I made copies on tea-stained paper. But I just want to tell you, this book is from 1878, so it is full of etiquette and how to write and all of those things. I just really wanted to share some of these. So this is on tea-stained paper to kind of give it a vintage look, and I like that. So this page is just about letter writing, how to form a letter. I thought that was appropriate for the journal. This one, the position, correct and incorrect for writing, and it is hilarious to read. On the back, there's just correct penmanship. And this one is just for fun, etiquette among neighbors and the struggles of 1878 and how people acted. So it's hilarious. And then unclassified laws of etiquette. So this is a super fun read. These are going to go in the little journal. I just didn't want to stuff them in there for the videos. They will be included in there too. So these are just for fun. So I have that paper clipped in here. Just some ledger paper. Another belly band with some more of that vintage ledger paper. Another one of these pockets with some fabric here and just, you know, some ephemera. I've put tea-stained paper on the back of all of it. Just some fabric, some trim here. Another one of those pineapples from that doily, and then just a tea-stained Rolodex card. Some more of that vintage wrapping paper. And here I just have, you know, some tags clipped for journaling. The name of this book was Inspire, so there's some scrap paper there. Another button and doily piece with a tuck spot, and this is just an old vintage card game scorecard. That's there. Music paper, there's that book page. This is just some fabric decoration here. Another pocket with some scraps, tuck spot, and ephemera. Pocket here. And then there's also a pocket here that I put a guest check into. Another playing card, some music paper on the back. This is just an envelope that I did some funky stamping on, and I just have a few extra pieces of ephemera in here that you can use in your journaling. I always try to throw in a few extra things anyway, so there'll be more. I just clip that in the journal. And then some music paper. This is just a little flip out here for extra journaling with some butterfly washi. I really don't like to put a lot of washi in my journals because from making flip books for so long, I know that it doesn't hold up very well. So usually I throw in a few samples of washi that of course you could use, but I don't want to, I don't know, it worries me for the integrity of the journal, so I don't try to do it often, but I figure if this comes off, you can add it anywhere that you want to. So I just made a little flip out there. Here's some fabric and doily, some more of that wrapping paper. Some trims here, another tuck spot with some ephemera. This pocket, this is more of like a belly band in the music paper, and I just added some scraps. There's a tuck spot in the bottom. That ledger paper, there's more of that. Book page, another tuck spot with some doilies and lace. Tracing paper. Here I just have a time card in this music note pocket. There's one there, and there's also a tuck spot there. Lace belly band, that doily. And another pocket in the back with just some scraps that I stuck in there and some lace. So that is the Inspire journal. And then these are so similar, I'm just going to flip through the rest of them quickly. This one is called Hope. It has a different piece of doily here, still those little butterfly wings, the stamped plant here on the front, and then very similar on the inside. Double pocket here. This one I made a little belly band with that wrapping paper. An index card. This card just has some tea-dyed paper on the back. Another envelope with more ephemera in there. A pocket. Tuck spot. This is the Hope journal, so I just stamped Hope on there. Some more tags here. Their little pocket. More ephemera. I do love these vintage buttons. Those are so cute. Another little double pocket here. Tuck spot. The flip out. This one has a lace page instead of a doily. Another double tuck pocket. And lace and trim here. Another tuck spot. And another one. This is some tea-stained fabric. This is another pocket here. Has that flower image on there. Some fabric pieces. Just have a piece of ephemera in here. The belly band. And the pocket on the back. So that is the Hope journal. And then another Blessed journal. I love this one, Waltz of the Forest Sprite. I thought that was a fun addition to a nature journal envelope. This one has a lace piece as well. Another tuck spot. Another one of those belly bands. Pocket. Another double tuck pocket here. And just some ephemera stuck in here. blessed scrapbook there. Another pocket with this bearded iris. Just have a piece of ephemera in there. And just clipped some tags on here for extra. Another tuck spot. Spring morning, another double tuck here. Tuck spot. This piece of lace was shorter because I had run out, so I stitched this one onto the paper and just made that side into a tuck spot, like that. And then I forgot to mention, on these paper clips, I just tied some twine. Lace here, the belly band here, and then a pocket on the back with the tuck spot on the back. And then next is the Dream Journal, and it has another piece of that doily, layered fabrics and papers, of course, with that stamped leaf. Just flip through this quickly. Very similar to all of the rest of the journals. This one is music for violin and piano. Index card, lace page, or ephemera. Not much to say. Some more tags. This one is the Dream Journal. This card has some music paper on the back. More ephemera in here. And a double music pocket and a tuck. Really there. Here is the pocket. This one I didn't make a pocket, I made it a tuck. And it has the flower here with the fabric. Like I said, these are all grungy and torn up. I love that style. I think the next ones are going to be more clean lined. I tend to have a habit of going back and forth between the two because I like them all, let's be honest. I do. Here's another double tuck. And that is the last page, with just some scraps back here and the tuck. Okay, so you guys, for those of you who stuck around, thank you so much for watching. These are probably some of my very favorites that I have come up with so far, and I just get so excited when I do something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it worked. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'll have any information down in the description box that I didn't share, like numbers of pages, and my Etsy store link if you want to go check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and again, thank you for being part of my channel. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!